There they are, my 3D printers just merrily humming along, making some new designs. Of course, one of the designs does involve gnomes. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly vlog for Monday, July the 10th, 2023. 4 days away from my birthday. Yay! More about that later. Okay, so let's jump right in. Well, before we jump right into what I've been making, I have to explain something about Stephen and Walter Live yesterday. If you watched the rebroadcast already, and several of you have because you've sent me notes about it, you will notice that the sound cuts out about 6 minutes into the video, and it doesn't come back until for another 8 minutes or so. We had technical difficulties yesterday. Don't know what it was. I think I have it fixed now. Sorry about that, but the sound quality through the rest of the video is a little scratchy as well because, well, basically my 3D printers are usually on in the background, but I have a noise suppression file on my recording software, and usually that's not a problem. But because of the technical problem yesterday, it picked some of that up as well. So please bear with me. These things happen. And, it is and it isn't out of my hands. But of course, I didn't know this was going on until, people were texting me actually during the live telling me they can't hear us. So what I have done is, for those of you that haven't seen the rebroadcast of the live, I've cut out that part where there isn't any sound. It doesn't really affect the content. So yeah. So, sorry about that. I'll try to do better next time. Okay, and just another thing that I forgot to say, and amongst all the technical hubbub yesterday on Stephen and Walter Live, is that we will be on next Sunday afternoon 1 hour earlier than usual. Usually Stephen and Walter Live goes on the air at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next Sunday it will be at 1 hour earlier, use my words, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Reason being is my sister's coming over and her family for dinner. And they're going to be here at about 5 o'clock. Well, that would be smack dab into the middle of our live. So we've moved it up an hour to 3 p.m. And yeah, so again, sorry for the changes because I know people get involved with the routines and things, but that's what's happening. Okay, enough initial announcements. Let's jump into what I've been working on. Of course, I get the hiccups now. Today hasn't started out well. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's been some issues here, technical issues. Anyways, it's Monday. Let's take a look at what I have to show you. Okay, the Halloween quilt is all finished. It's all quilted. Yeah, it's very densely quilted. So this is not a fluffy quilt, okay? But it wasn't really meant to be a quilt. It's not that big to start with. It's more of a decoration, a wall hanging that I'll put out in the fall, somewhere, that kind of thing. It turned out fine. It just was a little bit dense in the quilting, which took a long time for it to complete. Like, it was about 14 hours on Lucy. Yes, 14 hours. So that's done, and I've started on this project. I'm going to talk about this one in more detail tomorrow because it's kind of a unique pattern. As you can see, it's all made up of little 2.5-inch squares. They finish at 2 inches. And this is 2/3 of this project done. I have the rest of his body to do, which is about 10 more rows of these blocks. I'm kind of enjoying it. This was suggested to me by one of my subscribers. And well, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to talk about the unique features of this particular quilt in a little bit more detail. So that's basically what I have been working on. I do have some 3D creations that I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. Let's move over here. And yeah, so let's go to YouTube channel of the week. Now, everybody knows Kate from the last Homely House. We all love Kate. I had the honor of having Kate as one of my presenters at one of my retreats back, year and a half ago, maybe longer, might have been 2 years now. I don't know. She's a lovely lady. She's very gracious. I can't say too much about Kate, and I am sure that you know who I'm talking about. And if you have never checked out The Last Homely House, you really need to. She's out of the UK. Well, she's decided to start a second channel. She is an avid gardener, and so she now has The Last Homely Garden. And well, that's what I'm going to talk about today. This week's YouTube channel of the week is one that is new, but very familiar because it is called The Last Homely Garden. And you may understand that this is related to The Last Homely House with Kate. And Kate, of course, is one of the internet's favorite personalities. Her videos are watched by hundreds of thousands now, and she's decided to branch off and create another channel called The Last Homely Garden, which features all of her gardening. And she does have a beautiful garden, but she has lots of tips. It's very calming when you watch this. So, if you want it on in the background or you just want to relax, I think this is a great YouTube channel to go to. Of course, it has definitely the flavor and characteristics of Kate's videos that we're all familiar with in The Last Homely House. So why not help support Kate a little further with her new venture by checking out and subscribing to The Last Homely Garden. So if you want to check out The Last Homely Garden, I have the link in the show notes below for that. You'll also find a link for 2 events this week. Of course, we have Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen, which is always on Wednesday mornings, starting at 9 Eastern Time, and runs whenever. Lately, we've been there the whole day. So if Stephanie and I are both available, or one of us is available, it will usually run the full day. But if we have something happening in our lives, it may be only half a day or a couple of hours. You never know. So you can come and go as you please. And speaking of coming and going as you please, this Saturday I have a special pop-up sew day. All are welcome. It's my birthday. Well, technically my birthday's on Friday, on the 14th. But we're having what I call Stephen's Birthday Bash Pop-Up Sew Day. Actually, it wasn't my idea to call it that. That was from Stephanie, actually, which is fine. So, yeah. Now, some people think you have to pre-register for it. You do not. You can come and go throughout the day as you see fit. It's a Zoom. Those of you on my mailing list, I just sent out this morning the Zoom link. But for those of you that aren't on my mailing list, the Zoom link is in the show notes of this vlog today, so you can check it out there. It'll also be in my Idiot Quilter episode on Tuesday, and it'll be in So Chatty on Friday as well. So lots of opportunities to pick that link up. And as I said, it's come and go as you please. We will start at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, run approximately until 5 p.m. Eastern Time, but you can come whenever is convenient for you. Stay as long as you like. Pop in and out throughout the day if you wish. Now, somebody mentioned to me, because of the response I was getting to this, that maybe my Zoom license will be full really quickly. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, I can handle about 99 people on my Zoom link. To date, for my usual pop-up sew days, I think the record has been maybe 35, 36, something like that. So I don't think it's going to fill up. However, if that concerns you, early bird gets the worm. Come earlier. but I think there'll be plenty of room for everybody, whatever time you connect. Okay, you will notice that I have started something new in my show notes. I've been putting down my favorite people's YouTube channels there for you as well. We have Stephanie Stitches, we have Sean from The Guy Who Sews, we have Adam from Adam Sews, we have Russ from Quilt Meets World, and we have Shannon from Slay Arts. So if you've never checked out any of their YouTube channels, do. Definitely do. Okay, and there are links to last week's videos if you haven't seen them yet. Yeah, so lots of things there for your viewing pleasure, as they say. Okay, speaking of viewing pleasure, let's take a look at what's outside my window today. And this is the kind of day. This was taken at about 8 o'clock this morning. You know, it looks a little cloudy, but apparently, according to the forecast, it's supposed to be sunny today, a high of 28 C, and no rain. It's not supposed to rain this week until about Thursday, and it looks like it's going to be hot all week, like up to 30 degrees, and that's without the humidex. So if we have a humidex, it's going to be hotter. And I know this summer has so far has seemed pretty hot, especially here in Canada. You know, forest fires are still happening. Am I evil because I enjoy the heat and, you know, the hotter the better? Well, not the better, but you know what I mean. I'm sorry, but in Canada, we only have 2 months of summer. So trying to enjoy the heat while it lasts, because before we know it, we'll blink our eyes and guess what? It'll be fall. Yeah, I know, sorry. I shouldn't have probably said the F word for that. But yeah, but so far, so nice. I'm enjoying the heat. Of course, I'm not living in the middle of a forest that's burning down. So that's a story for another day. Okay, so that takes me to what's pissing me off this week and talking about heat and stupid people. Yes, they are stupid. Okay, we just had the long weekends and holidays for July the 1st, Canada Day, and July the 4th, Independence Day in the States. And of course, what goes along with those special events? Fireworks. And the emphasis on the word fire, because they do start fires. Okay? Now, it used to be that cities, towns, whatever, on those days, at least here in Canada, and I think it was similar in the States, the community, they'd have a community fireworks show. And it was usually done by like the local fire department or authorities, people who knew what they were doing and doing it safely. But in the last few years, people have been doing a lot of home fireworks displays, and they're going out and they're buying big bundles of these things, and they're not so experienced with these, and you know, they're in their backyard and they're shooting these things up, and there's little kids running around, and they possibly live in a spot where there's a lot of dry vegetation there. And so what could go wrong, right, with amateurs and fireworks? Yeah, people getting hurt, places burning down, forest fires started, yeah, all that kind of stuff. And people are stupid. They don't realize or don't think about how dangerous fireworks really can be. Every year you hear about somebody who's been hurt or severely burned because they were at a fireworks display or were putting one up themselves with a bunch of amateurs and things went awry. Then there are those stupid ones, younger people in most cases, who think it's a lot of fun to get a Roman candle or whatever, take it, light it, point it at their friends, and shoot fireworks at each other. Dumb. We had a big problem with that last year at a public fireworks display amongst a whole bunch of young people. And these aren't necessarily little kids. I mean, the latest reports I've heard, there was 13 and 14-year-olds this year. Last year, it was people in their 20s doing it as well, and probably younger too. But they're out there shooting them on the streets of Toronto at each other. People were getting hurt. The cops are called in. They, go in and do whatever they have to do about this kind of thing. So this year in Toronto, probably the stupidest city on the face of the planet these days, the cops are saying, oh, that's not going to happen this year. Oh no, we are going to nail you if you try to do that. Oh yeah, guess what? It happened again. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really effective policing. Well, to be fair to the police, it's probably very difficult to police it. But, people are stupid. They are. So I think what we need to do is ban them. Let's look at it this way. Why do we need in the 21st century something you set on fire and take your chances it doesn't blow up in your face? We have technology now for light shows, because that's what fireworks are. A light show that's a lot safer. Drones, laser lights. Okay, you're going to say, but laser lights, ooh, I'm not talking about laser pointers. The laser lights that they use, like, watch YouTube on New Year's Eve and across the world. That's what most of their firework displays are consist of. Yes, they'll have some of the conventional ones too, again, done by professionals. But they have these great, fantastic light shows using drones and laser lights and projecting things on the sides of large buildings and stuff like that. Like, really, much more entertaining, in my opinion, than a simple fireworks display. That's the 21st century way of doing things. A lot safer as well. So, do we need to have fireworks sold to people? Yeah, we have laws that say they can't be sold to minors, but minors get their hands on them. Why? Because their parents buy them. Here, have a Roman candle and go out and have a good time. Johnny, I don't care you're only 4. Here's a lighter. That'll help you light it up. Yeah, point it at your baby sister. That'll be fun, watching her go up in flames. Yeah, I know there are some places that have banned fireworks. I think it should be done across the board, simply because people are stupid and don't know what they're doing with them. Here in Canada, because of the forest fires and everything, certain communities outright banned them this year because they didn't want their town going up in smoke, because things are tinder dry. Yeah, smart move. In Toronto, no, they had it anyways. But what's going to burn in Toronto? It's a concrete jungle. But, again, a lot of stupid people out there. Oh, yes, 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 I know. There's going to be a lot of you going to say, but it's tradition. Well, tradition is not a good excuse for stupid activities. It's really not. If it was tradition for half the population to line up and jump off a cliff to their death, and if the government came in and banned that kind of behavior, would you consider that, well, no, we have to do that because it's tradition? So you see what I'm saying? Why do we need fireworks? We have enough fires happening. We have enough people getting hurt with them. It's time to do things the 21st century way. Let's use LED lights and laser lights and have a good, safe time. Okay, let's move on to new products. Well, I have nothing new that I have purchased in the last little while. However, I am seriously considering buying something again from Temu. Temu, so far, I have not been disappointed in. They have some African fabrics. They seem to be the real deal. They are the waxed African fabrics, the process that they use for making them. The price is ridiculously cheap. I'm thinking of possibly ordering some of those just to try them out and see how they compare to what I bought from, another source, which the source I'm talking about because I've talked about it extensively on the Idiot Quilter. I need to sit down one day and just look through Temu a little bit more. I've been watching some haul videos, Temu haul videos on YouTube. They seem to be popular. And there's some cool stuff for ridiculously low prices, and people seem to be happy with it. So say what you will about this, place from China. I'm assuming Temu is probably China. But if you can get stuff at a lot less price than at Amazon, I mean, yeah, you're not getting Prime service with it. It takes probably a couple of weeks in some cases, but I can wait a couple of weeks if it's a bargain, so to speak. So yeah, stay tuned. I might be making a little bit of a exploratory purchase from Temu in the near future. Okay, that takes me to the grow lights update. Well, our grow lights are looking a little ratty right now. Okay, there's grow light number one. You can see this one pot over here. Walter is preparing to, or has planted something in it. I don't know what he's planted in there. The lettuce is getting a little wonky. It's time to cut it all back and plant some new stuff. You can see the basil's doing really well, like really well. How much basil does somebody need? Grow light number two, oh, really ratty. It's a jungle. You can see here that the some of the lettuce and spinach has bolted. And once it does that, well, it's kind of done. Bolted means it's flowering. Some more seeds. Some of this stuff down here is looking sad. We've been using it. We've been eating the stuff that's in here, and it's been great. But it's time to, refresh all of this. And the same with the jungle. Grow light number three. You can see we've got our peppers. Walter took the tomato plants out for the most part. I think I don't know if there might be one in the background. They're still in there because they were getting ratty looking in there under the lights. So he took them outside, and actually they're doing pretty good outside. They've perked right up, and he took some of the pepper plants out. I don't think we're going to take these pepper plants out. We're going to harvest this and replant, get some new pepper plants started under the lights in here. This whole little area under here, a lot of dead leaves and stuff in here. It's a little messy. Walter wants to clean that all up. And of course, here's what the outdoors look like. And these are the tomato plants that were under the lights, and we transplanted them. When I say we, I mean Walter transplanted them. He's the gardener. I touch this stuff, it dies. This is a pepper plant that we transplanted out there, and those ones are ready to go, orange peppers. He's planted some green onions down in here. The squirrels like to dig in the green onions. They get in there. They don't eat them. They dig up the bulbs and just leave them, little bastards, quite frankly. And this pot here, you can't see, it's cut out. He's planted some lettuce in there, and there's some other plants over off camera over in the other side, mostly tomato plants. We got some chives. We don't have to plant those. They survive the winter. Like, they die back, but they self-seed. In fact, these are some of the flowers on them. People say that you should probably clip those off when they start to flower and stuff. We just leave it. Chives are chives. I mean, they grow like wildfire. And the greens of chives taste like green onions, actually. So they're good in salads and other things. But holy crap, you don't use that much chives. So we just leave it because it's a nice green, bushy little plant there. Our garden this year is a little late because, we went to the East Coast and Walter didn't want to put things out there because it gets very hot. Everything has to be watered every day to keep them going. So things are a little late this year for us, but it's coming along, and I love the foliage. It's nice to sit out there when these are all in their glory, and it just looks nice. Sort of a substitute for flowers, I guess. And you eat them too. So that's always good. So thanks for coming along with all the grow lights. All right. So that takes me to the 3D corner. I've made some new little toys here. I'm sort of tired of making gnomes and things. But these are my latest little projects, and you're going to wonder what the heck these are. Well, I'm actually I have a little video demo of how you use these items. They are things for sewers. The little hooky things here are basically designed to clip onto a table or a desk, two sizes, so they fit almost any surface, thickness of surface. And it's kind of an ingenious design. I wish I could take credit for it and say that I designed them, but I did not because I don't know how to use CAD programs for designing 3D elements. but somebody else designed them, put them up for free use, which is nice. And yeah, like I said, they're designed so that gravity works with them. This little part that sticks out is the part that sticks out from your desktop. This hook's underneath the bottom. This is on the top, which stabilizes it. And whatever you hang from here, a purse, a bag, scrap bag, whatever, the heftiness of that object makes this push up into the underside of the table, the this larger curved piece, and that's what keeps it stable. I think it's brilliant. Works really well. I'm making a bunch of these to give away to people. And this is a zipper jig. And if you buy, for those of you that sew, you've probably have bought at some point, if you make bags or whatever, zipper tape. It's basically a long roll of zipper, but you have to put your little pole on it yourself. And that can be a little bit tedious, to say the least. Well, this basically lets you do it in no time flat. It works like a charm. I added the little gnomes to it to personalize it. So I'm making a pile of these to give to people too. Like I said, tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter, I will be actually showing you how these work. So if you don't understand the whole concept of a zipper jig, you can buy commercial ones. But this design, whoever designed this one that I downloaded, it was brilliant. Again, I'll talk about that tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter. I'm just giving a little preview of that now. Okay, I do actually have to work on my 3D printers today after the vlog is over, because one of them needs a nozzle replaced and the other two need to be a little cleaned up. Their beds are a bit icky from multiple prints. So that takes me a while to do. And it's not something I enjoy doing with the 3D printers, but it's a necessary thing. Okay, so that takes me to Blasts from the Past. So we're going to the zoo. The Sydney Zoo, Taronga Zoo in Sydney. And yeah, here's part one of that.
Right there. Okay, this is the Pitt Street Mall. And you've seen videos of this before, but this is what it looks like on Boxing Day in Sydney. And it's a zoo. The worst part of it was up there. We're trying to make our way down to the ferries because we're thinking of going to the, what's that zoo called?
Taronga Zoo.
Taronga Zoo. We'll see. There's also a big regatta on today, a big boat race from here to Hobart in Tasmania. And they have it every year, so there's a lot of people for that as well. So we have no idea what we're walking into. It may be a zoo down by the ferries too. If it is, we'll do it on another day. Okay, so we made it just right time. We got Opal cards and we got the tickets to the zoo and we got on the ferry, and that all worked out really well. We have to wait at all. So in about 11 minutes we're supposed to arrive at the zoo. And this is looking out the window from the ferry. There's a cruise ship in today. Radiance of the Seas. That's a Royal Caribbean, right? Royal Caribbean ship. And today is Boxing Day, as I said before, so everybody, it looks like they're up shopping because, well, there's a fair number of people on this ferry going to the zoo, but it's not full, so that's a good thing. Zoo's kind of expensive, although we haven't been to Toronto Zoo in a long time, so Toronto Zoo's probably just as much. It's about $47 a piece for the zoo. It's supposed to be a really great zoo, so we'll see. At least that's what Walter says it is. I don't know. I haven't looked at anything, but I don't know if we get to touch any animals at this one or not. And there's the Harbour Bridge again, and that's where we were yesterday. And you can see there's today's walkers. So this is the view from the ferry. And this is what the ferries look like. This is another one exactly the same as the one we're on.
So this is the zoo from the air.
So right now we're on the Australian walkabout part of the zoo, and this is the aviary. So I'm assuming very shortly we'll probably see some birds. Maybe we'll see those ones that I've been taking pictures of that look to me like they might be a snipe, but I don't know if they are or not. Oh, so, what's that?
This is the aviary.
This is the aviary right here, yeah. Door can be open when the other door is closed. Okay, so we get in here. Ooh, heavy doors. And that one's got to be closed. So that one's closed. And we're in the rainforest, and there's a bird right there. Probably want a cracker? I guess not. Oh, there's a bunch of them up there. Well, there's birds in here. I can hear them. Can't see them, but I can hear them. And this is the koala encounter, and there he is up in the tree.
Yeah. Yeah, bad.
And here he is, up close and personal. It's a little sleepy time for him right now, I guess. Apparently you can go in and pet them, you pay a separate admission, but we've already saw that at one of the other zoos, so not going to bother. Besides, they don't look like they're really that excited about being petted. Saying they sleep 22 hours a day. When they have them woken up to be petted, they're like eating into their 2 hours of food time. Although this one does not look like he's too undernourished. So here's the back end.
Redneck quality.
A redneck or red swamp?
Redneck quality.
What, that's what this is?
No, not that. That's kangaroo.
That's kangaroo.
Those things over there are all.
Oh. Okay, so these ones are wallabies. Seem to love flowers. Cute flowers. Look how cute that is. Posing for his picture.
È giorno perché loro sono animali della notte.
So that takes me to events in the past week. We had a special visit yesterday. One of my subscribers who lives out in Regina, who I call a friend because we have become a friend through Zooms and things like that. Dana is her name. So those of you that are regulars on here and come to the SO days that I have probably met Dana on Zoom anyways. Well, I got to meet Dana in person. She was traveling back from a vacation out to the East Coast, and she came for dinner. And I did a little video of Dana talking about her trip and showing us her fabric haul that she purchased when she was at the East Coast. And I'm going to show that tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter. But we had a really nice evening with her and her traveling companion. It was great to meet Dana in person. So yeah, so like I said, tomorrow I have a little bit of a sort of a mini interview with Dana as we were sitting out on our deck enjoying some smart cocktails and socializing. So if you're interested in that, that'll be in tomorrow's Idiot Quilter. What else this past week? We had a concert. We went to a concert. Yes. And we talked a little bit about this on Stephen and Walter Live yesterday. Our great nieces play guitars. They are 12 and 9 years old, and we were invited over to their parents' house on Saturday afternoon for a little concert. And I did do some video of it, but the problem is if I show you the video, this thing, use my words, will be demonetized. So because they were playing commercial music, but they're so good, at that young age. And the youngest one, Brooke, she's the bass player. Her feet, she's on the chair, her feet don't touch the ground. Of course, I have the same problem with my feet. But there she is with this great big thing, and she's got this really serious look, and she's going boom, 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 boom. She's really good. Both of the girls are. They're really good. So it was fun watching her, though, because the look on her face, like boom, boom, boom. She's a serious bass player, okay? But they play along with their dad, and they're good. Yeah, did I tell you how good they are? They were good. So that was really quite nice to see. I wish I could share a video with you, but I can't. Okay, and what else? Update on the car situation with Walter. Yeah, we're still waiting to hear the final word from the insurance company. It's been 2 weeks. Yeah, they're looking at it. We expect we'll hear something this week. We're hoping we don't have to do a lot of fighting with them. But, insurance companies, they're good at taking your money. They're just not good in paying out with it all. So, and maybe we will hear this week, too, about Walter's new car. We have to see about that. I just would like this whole situation to be over with, because it's not knowing what's really happening drives me batty and drives Walter batty as well. So hopefully this time next week we'll have better news about all of that. And I got a surprise in the mail. Now, I've already told you, it's my birthday coming up on Friday. And yesterday, Walter went to our mailbox. It's a community mailbox. And he came in with a big box addressed to me. Actually, as soon as I saw the label on it, I suspected I knew who this was from. But this was made my day yesterday, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is what was in the box. A pail and a shovel, a birthday card, a charm pack of fabric, and an Amazon gift card. Okay, you're going, a plastic pail with a shovel? What are you, going on 3? No, this is a joke, a running joke. Those of you that have been on the So Day know what this is all about. And you can probably guess who sent this to me. And yes, it was Jan. Jan's a friend and a subscriber. And I have a little saying. And let me just go to here. And this is what she put on the pail. My pail and shovel, my sandbox, Stephen's rules. I always say to people, my sandbox, my rules. So Jan put together this bucket with my picture on it. And she... Actually, those letters that she put on it are, I don't know if Jan's got a cricket or what, but those are like rub-ons or vinyl kind of a deal. So she spent some time on this little gag gift. It brightened my day when I saw this. So I now have it in a place of honor in my sewing room. And the birthday card was hilarious. The cats and the dogs on it. And of course, the charm pack was, fabric's always appreciated. And the piece of resistance here was the Amazon gift card. I am not revealing what the amount was, but it was generous. And no need for her to have done that. I really appreciate it. Like I said, it was a real surprise. And Jen, you're such a nice person. She really is. Jen and I, if any of you hear the two of our banter when we're on a sew day, you might think we're kind of cruel to each other. We're kind of sarcastic, but it's all in good fun with it. So, yep. So, Jan, thank you for that. It did brighten my day, and it still brightens my day when I look at it. It makes me laugh. So, yeah. So I think that was about it, the highlights from the week. And what's coming up, well, you already know. Stephen's birthday bash. Everything's going off here on the timing. So the birthday bash pop-up sew day, as I already mentioned, this coming Saturday, July the 15th, starting at 8 a.m., but come and go as you please. Links in the show notes or in your email box, your inbox. Okay, so that's it for me today. Tune in tomorrow for the Idiot Quilter, because there's a lot of interesting stuff I have to share with you tomorrow on that. And I hope you have a great week, whatever you're doing, and we'll see you later. Bye for now.